And welcome back to another episode of Blue Review. Greg Bergman, it is so good to see you on this Wednesday, this hump
What's
day.
happening?
I hear it's been a busy morning already for you before the day even gets started.
Yeah, it's been going wild. What's up, Cappy? Just trying to walk in, do some stuff. It's the Blue Review time, Cappy.
Dude, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Hold on.
hold on.
Here we go.
Dude,
Get
the
in here.
lighting
Get in here.
sucks. How'd you get it so good?
It's because I know how to do lighting. Here you go.
What time are you done? Hey,
We're done.
Parker.
We're done at 10 o'clock. We're at 9:55.
Oh.
So you'll have 9:55. You can jump in here.
Dude,
and
but
do
you
your
look
thing.
good. I always
Thanks,
look like
man.
Casper the freaking Friendly Ghost
See,
because the lighting sucks in here so bad. But now you got it right.
yeah, this is the way to do it.
Okay.
You just need my help. I love this guy. Look at this.
Changed my life.
Whoa,
Beautiful.
look at that.
Oh.
I changed my life.
That feels
Oh.
good. This is the best way this morning's ever started. It was a rough, long morning, and I get a kiss from Cappy. I feel great now. Let's go. Let's talk some
go.
Dodgers. Yeah.
Let's Dodger Blue. Let's do this. What a way to turn everything around. So I know
That was a great look. It really was a long morning, and I was just like annoyed and kind of frustrated. I feel good. Parker. Let's go. What you got for me?
Let's go. I'm happy to
follow
hear
along
that.
with whatever you got to do.
So that was actually perfect timing. We are back, of course, this Wednesday morning. The Dodgers faced the Angels last night, so we can talk a little bit about that. Welcome, Marcus Grant, everybody, to the show.
What's up, guys? I wasn't sure if I wanted to be here because obviously the Angels made the right move in letting Shohei Ohtani go, and I wasn't sure I was ready to face the general public after last night.
I'm sure all of Angels fans just won the World Series. It's over now. They beat Shohei Ohtani in the spring training in his first game against them. Everyone's feeling wonderful.
Man, it was the World Series, the Super Bowl, and like Shark Week all rolled into one. It's crazy.
Yeah,
we'll hang it. They'll hang it at the stadium. They'll hang that banner.
Marcus, you just missed a wonderful scene as Scott Kaplan came in here all riled up, ready to go in the morning, give me a big old kiss on my cheek, and then ran out. It was nice. It was good. So go back and watch it when you.
I will go check that out for sure.
It was one of the best things I've seen on the Blue Review, and I mean, it just completely changed Bergman's mood. And now that you're here too, Marcus,
I already miss him. I feel like a scorned boyfriend. Like he's gone. We just kind of got together, and I'm like, oh, I need more Cappy
right.
in my life.
Just had a moment,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's good.
Well, guys, like you mentioned, of course, Angels took down the Dodgers, and some Dodgers fans just wanted to fly away and just not face the reality that the Angels are better. I'm kidding.
We're finally seeing the Parker Angel fan coming out.
I love this. I love it. I love it.
No. Trust me. Me and Cody were talking, and producer Cody of Travis and Sliwa, and we all know how the season's going to go. But anyways, before we get started, I just want to say that the Blue Review is presented by LAX. You can see it down there below on the lower third. LAX are our friends here at ESPN LA and at Blue Review. So, of course, at Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily, reducing traffic, saving guest time, and tons of transformations to the travel experience. So if you want to find out more, guys, you can check that out at flylax.com/transforminglax. So without further ado.
I love the fact that you said lower third because all of the listeners fully know what that is. So that's good. That thing on the bottom, that little line down there on the bottom, that's kind of a scroll. That's not a scroll. That is a lower third. Just it's a
little bit of broadcast 101 right there.
Yeah,
industry knowledge. Sorry about that. I gotta. Yeah. I'm still a rookie.
No, it's fine.
Well,
I just wanted to give you hell because I was in that kind of mood. That's really the only reason for that. I'm sure every single person can figure out lower third.
That's fair. So, hey, we got the chat locked in. Everybody's locked in. Even though it's just spring training, we're all excited for Dodgers baseball this season. But why don't we start off with a little bit of bad luck? And with that, I'm talking about Muncy. What in the world is going on? I mean, second awkward hit by pitch, luckily avoided injury this time. But I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on just the fact that, of all people, Muncy, who's dealt with a tough injury back in 2021, it's scary. It's scary to see.
Yeah, it's just bad luck. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just bad luck, right? I mean, he's not doing anything to get people to throw at him. I just don't know what else to say about it. It's not like he's a guy who's like hanging out over home plate, right? You see some guys who just are literally crowding the dish and they're hanging out, and those guys tend to get hit more than other guys. That's not Muncy. So I can't chalk it up to anything other than he just has rotten luck, apparently.
Yeah, it's kind of like JT. Remember, like he got hit all the time.
Yeah,
but he also kind of like leaned his
he kind of
shoulder
leaned out.
in. Yeah, he was leaning out, like trying to get hit a little bit. Muncy, you're right. Muncy's not doing any of those types of things. I think it's just he has a magnet inside of him that he wants the ball to come directly towards him. I mean, it's isn't. We're not going to go as far as to be like, shut him down. That's it. No more. No more spring training for Max Muncy. But, you know, like it's unfortunately it keeps happening. Hopefully none of these injuries are serious because, again, I mean, it's baseball. Like you're going to get hit by a pitch every once in a while. He just seems to get hit more than most.
Yeah. I mean, Marcus, you said it best. Just complete bad luck. It's not like that guy on Vanderbilt who you, I think it was Greg, you sent us that video. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, you who are watching, there was a player on Vandy who is doing a shuffle mid-pitch.
Yeah. God,
like Soto shuffle
mid-pitch.
Like during the windup. Yeah, that's no
bueno. That is cause for. I mean, I'm not advocating for violence, but somebody's gonna get hit.
So just so we know, because I don't think we have the video. There's a guy and he's in the batter's box, and every time the pitcher is winding up, he takes a shuffle forward and a shuffle back, and then gets into his stance. You're going to get hit in the head. Someone's going to throw at you, whether it's the ribs, the shoulder, or something. Someone is going to go too far and throw it directly at your dome. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah,
which
is
weird.
Not a written rule that I'm in on.
But it's also wild because, like, I mean, how long has he been doing this? When did it start? Why did it start? It feels like a thing. You know what it does? It feels like a thing you're screwing around with, you know, at practice or whatever with friends, and like, haha, it's kind of funny. And then he's like, maybe I should try it in the game. Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like that this is one where it's going to police itself, and that's not going to last a long time.
Yeah,
I'm never for throwing it at people, but in these situations, you're just asking, you're legitimately saying, "Hey, please do this."
Hey, man, it slipped. I don't know what happened.
Crazy.
Which is not what happened, of course, from the Angels. The Muncy was not meant to be hit, like you said, Marcus. Pure bad luck. So, you know, if anybody wanted to, you know, throw that out there. Okay, well, why don't we talk about Ohtani a little bit? Of course, that's always the main story. And like I think we mentioned yesterday, the fact that Ohtani's playing the Angels, even in the regular season, will not be a story because the Angels just are not necessarily a story. But the comments and everything that Ohtani kind of said after the fact, that was good news. Even though he went 0-2 or 0-3 with 2 strikeouts, he did say his elbow, hitting-wise, is close to fully complete in terms of the rehab. I mean, great news. And how do you guys feel? I mean, are you thinking he's going to miss any time at all this season?
I mean, to predict whether he's going to get injured or not is very, very difficult. So
more rehab. Sorry, I know more rehab.
It is a little morbid.
that did come out morbid. I guess more
he's
rehab
missing out
moments.
40 games. I mean, I can't say that, but
yeah.
At the same time, like, I just love hearing that he's doing okay, that he's feeling good after every single start. And also, this is going to be the first time that he plays in a back-to-back game in spring training. And it's kind of like a night into semi-day game because there's a 5 o'clock into a 12 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So he is playing back-to-back. That's back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's a chicken. But yeah, it's a good thing that he's doing that and that he's helping himself get better towards the start of the season, and he's feeling good. That to me is exciting. And he's also going to be pitching. He's going to be hitting while Yamamoto is pitching. So I love to see the two of them go today. That's going to be great news. So for Ohtani himself, I think he went 0-3. That's it. You're done. Get out of here. You're not made worth the money anymore. But you know, I like the fact that he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been the goal, right? Is just to sort of bring him along, work him back. You know, we already know he's not going to pitch this year, so it is just about getting him ready to hit. And so, yeah, I'm with you, Greg. I want to see how he feels after the game today, right? He gets his 3 at bats or whatever it may be. You know, and then we'll I'm sure find out more about how the elbow is feeling after, you know, as you mentioned, such a short turnaround going from a 5 o'clock a night game to a midday game. So I think, you know, that's something sort of to keep an eye on. But everything else about it has been encouraging, has been positive. I mean, the fact that, you know, he says the elbow feels better, that he thinks that part of the rehab is complete. And, you know, just from a superficial statistical standpoint, that he has been raking, you know, last night aside, all throughout spring. I think all these things so far make you encouraged that this, this is going to hopefully work out the way the Dodgers want it to, because I don't know if you heard, he's going to get a lot of money from the Dodgers.
No, I don't know. He's not. He's getting $2 million.
Right.
He's not making any money this year, if you want to be serious about it. But he will.
He will one day make a lot of money from the Dodgers. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, it's he has been raking to the point of that. I think he only needs a double to have the cycle in spring training so far.
Wow.
And which is pretty cool. Like, he had that triple that he was this is what it was amazing about that triple, and it was on Sunday, I think. It was on Sunday. So he hit this triple. He didn't realize, he thought he hit a home run, so he's just jogging around first base, and then decided, I'm just going to take off now because he didn't just get to second and stop like most guys would. He still went all the way around. That's how fast this dude is. I don't think we realize and actually pay attention to how fast and how like seamless he moves on the bases and how good he is at that.
Yeah, I think that was the takeaway from when I watched it, is that like he just has a cruising speed that is sort of just kind of amazing, right? I mean, yeah, you're right. He didn't necessarily go, and he wasn't just busting it out of the box, because I think when he hit it, I think we all thought it was going to leave the ballpark.
Yeah.
But the fact that he hit second and just kind of was in this cruising speed, right? And he still made it into third standing up. I know we talked last week about just this team and their base running, and the fact that they do have a lot of speed. They also have guys who are smart base runners. I think he sort of brings that mix of a guy who I think knows when to run, when to take the extra base, but with a guy who can open it up, and really, it helps that he's tall with long, can take long strides. That definitely helps. But I think he's going to be as much fun to watch on the base paths as he is at the plate.
Yeah, he's probably close to the fastest guy, if not the fastest guy on the team. Yeah, and maybe top 10, 15 in the league. I mean,
I think he's like top 5 for 90 speed. He's
sure. Yeah. So he's one of the best pitchers in the league when he's healthy. He's the best hitter in the league when he's healthy, and he's in top 5 in speed. I think that's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. Side note, I would love. So I've said this to a bunch of people. I remember when I was 10 years old and I went to the All-Star workout in Oakland before the All-Star game. And now when they do it, it's pretty much just the home run derby, and that's kind of the big marquee thing. I think they have that veterans softball game or something like that. But I remember as a kid, they had a full-on skills competition. And I think there was like some base running involved. I think there were like some throwing drill, like accuracy of throwing and like hitting accuracy. Like I would love for Major League to bring that back for the All-Star game, like the night before, have a skills competition sort of thing, like the NBA sort of does, or the NFL. I would love to see like some of these guys get out there and run, right? Like have Shohei out there on the bases with like Trey Turner and Mookie Betts and whomever else. Like I think that'd be a really fun showcase, and we get to see who really truly is like the fastest base runner in baseball.
See, I would love that too. Can we just get rid of the All-Star game itself and just
at this point, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, like all All-Star games across all sports, just cancel them all. Yes.
Yeah, because none of the players are really into it, and they're all sort of a farce. But like, they really get into the skills competition, because I think the ego is like, I want to prove to you that I am great at this particular thing. So like, let's do that. Let's lean into that.
Yep. No. I'm in. Let's do it.
I like it. And I mean, Marcus, you threw me back when you said that, because I remember when the All-Star game was held in Anaheim in like maybe, I forgot if it was 9 or 12, sometime between 2009 and 2012, and they would have skills competitions, but for the fans over at the Anaheim Convention Center. Oh. And I remember being that like 10-year-old stealing a base, trying to compare my speed to Eric Ibar's. So
how'd that work out for you? How'd that go for you?
Yeah, I got killed, but it was fun. It was fun, and I agree. We should bring something like that back. It's entertaining. Yeah, it's fun time. So I wanted to talk about Ohtani just a little more, and about his, meticulousness and how just dedicated he is to this game and how crazy he is. Honestly, I think it's fair enough to say that he's so crazy for this game. That's why he's so great. He mentioned something after the game as well that a lot of people don't really talk about, why he went 0 for 3. And when other people say this, it's like, okay, cool. But when Ohtani says this, it's like, yes, sir, I believe you. So the reason he went 0 for 3 was because his eyes. He hasn't been working out at night, and his eyes are adjusting to seeing the ball at night. It seems perfectly normal for people to say that, but you don't hear it too often. When Ohtani says it, I mean, are you guys with me where it just seems like there's a different magnitude to the things he says? because he's so like such a he's so studious. He's in the game so often. I don't know.
And because he's great. Like it's one thing when a guy like Ohtani says that, right? It's another thing when a guy who, is a career 205 hitter who doesn't have much power, like is like, oh yeah, no, my eyes haven't adjusted yet. It's like, well, bro, you're not hitting in the daytime either. So like, so like
Right.
when a guy like, I mean, it's Ted Williams talking. I mean, I don't know if it's a true story or not, but hearing Ted Williams talk about hitting and that if you foul off a ball the right way, that you can smell a little bit of smoke, from the wood burning or something like that, right? Like,
never heard that. That's amazing though.
Right. I mean, so like when guys who are great at what they do tell you the little small details of how they do their craft, like, yeah, you tend to believe them more than just a guy who's just trying to hang on or just trying to get a cup of coffee at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he's also the guy that just when he started taking swings before spring training games actually started, he took the entire first. I think he was facing Trinan, possibly. I don't remember who it was, but he was facing live pitching for the first time, and he just tracked. That's all he did. He didn't swing at anything. He was just tracking the pitches, and so he can get his eyes trained to the ball, and then he hit a home run on the next guy. So yes, I believe things whenever they say things like that. You have to be the right type of guy, but that is an incredible story, Marcus.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You can smell the wood burning.
It's like you smell the wood burning. Yeah,
I know, that blew my mind. Wow.
I don't know if I've liked something more than hearing that from that was amazing. I don't know. That one hit me for whatever reason.
Because it's just an amazing. It is a thing that you have to be in the deepest levels of that craft to understand it, right? And like it is a thing when you hear, you're like, it blows your mind. You're like, I wonder if I could. Like, I wonder if I could actually do that. But like a guy like Ted Williams says it, you're like, oh, I believe that.
Oh yeah, he smelt it. Absolutely.
Right, 100%. 100%.
I want to go. There's a question in the chat that I wanted to get to from Carlos Sanchez. What's up, Carlos? It says, question, is there retribution beaning in spring training? And I would say for the most part, no, but it depends on who you are and who's the one getting hit.
Right.
So like if it was Madison Bumgarner hitting Max Muncy, then yes, there would be some kind of retribution beaning. But for the most part, I'm going to go with no here, Marcus. I don't know. Maybe you're different.
No, I'm with you. I would say, 99.8% of them are just, it just happens, right? Because in spring, you're just trying to work stuff out. You're working on your game. You're not super worried about what everybody else is doing. You're just trying, if you're on the mound, you're just trying to get command and get your feel. If you're at the plate, you're just trying to, get your swing right. But yeah, I'm sure in the history of baseball, there have been some spring training retribution beatings. And honestly, if Madison Bumgarner was involved in one of them, I would not be surprised.
That would be the exact thing that Mad Bum would do, and then someone would go ahead and hit the next guy. Like that's just how that would work.
Of course.
That question reminds me.
Is he on a team right now?
I don't think so. I think he's. I don't know if he's officially retired or if the league has sort of
just
retired
kind of aged him out.
Yeah.
What was that, Parker?
I was gonna say that question just reminds me of in like other sports. It happens a lot in like training camp, NFL training camp. Is it really worth it to fight? But you see tons of fights. I know there's that iconic video of, I think it was DeAndre Hopkins, and I forgot who else it was, but it's it depends on the
took off his helmet and was throwing it at people.
Yeah.
That's different. I mean, that is a physical, violent game, and and you're out, you're practicing, you're hitting each other. It's 100 degrees probably wherever you are because it's July or August.
You're dehydrated.
It feels easier for tempers to sort of flare in that situation,
especially when you got the wrong guy that day. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Then standing around and just stepping into a batter's box, once every 3 times in a day, possibly.
Yeah,
it's little
different.
So, of course, I know that Carlos is in the chat. We got some other people in the chat. If you have any questions, send them our way. Speaking of the Ohtani and just being meticulous, did you guys hear this? Walker Buehler invited a magician to practice yesterday before the game. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just wanted, can I get the does Walker have his information, his contact information? I'm trying to plan a 5th birthday party for my son. So this might be the sort of thing that I'd have an interest in. If Walker could pass that information along, I would be grateful. But it sounds fun. I'm down with that. I'm down with fun. I enjoy fun.
Fifth birthdays and a magician is perfect.
Yeah,
they don't even have to do anything amazing. The magicians don't have to be good.
No,
they don't. They can just be like, oh, there's something over here. Hey, look at that! It's out of here.
Right. I mean, look, when I was 5 years old, I was pretty convinced that my dad can make the stoplights change. Right. It wasn't until I was a little older that I realized, like, oh, he's just looking at the other light over to the side and timing it. But for a good little while, I thought he was magical. You know, that's all it takes.
It's like the old story that there's somebody that like a dad tells the kids, like, I can tell what time it is just by looking up at the sun, and he puts his hand up to the sun like this and just looking right at his watch. He's like, it's 9:51. That's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do.
I'm excited for one day in the future to be able to have magical powers for my children.
Exactly.
I remember my first, like, and this is a crazy reference and crazy callback to Blue Review from last year. My first sentient memory. Greg, I don't know if you remember that. Clinton Yates.
No,
I'm curious now.
Clinton Yates, who joins us. Clinton Yates, who you might see this season.
Yeah. Going all macros. It was awesome.
He had this way to describe, like, your first memory of baseball, blah, blah, blah. And he used the word sentient memory.
Yeah.
And that just stuck with me. It stuck with me for so long. And speaking of, like, 5-year-old birthdays, my first sentient memory was I was my 4th birthday, and they got a Batman to, like, join the party to be, like, the magician. And he was not
Batman magician.
He was not Batman. Right? He was very, like, clown-ish. And I just remember
like wear black mask or something. He's like, I'm Batman now.
He has the hair coming out, like the rainbow hair coming out.
I'm Batman now. Fine.
Oh gosh, I just remembered it being such a crazy experience, and I'm sure your child will love whatever magician you get for them.
Whatever sort of party entertainment we hook up for him. Yeah. It's funny though. I think my first sentient memory of baseball was watching Fernando Valenzuela pitch. I don't think it was 81. I don't think it was the Fernando Mania year. It might have been a couple years after that, but I just remember him pitching, watching. My dad was watching a game, and I just remember thinking, because at the time when I was 5-6 years old, whatever it was, like, Fernando Valenzuela was the wildest name I had ever heard in my entire life, right? And, like, that stuck with me. But he also, turned out that he was actually good at what he did. So that was, I do remember that, watching that, like, on a Saturday afternoon or something.
So I'll try and give you one, but honestly, my first sentient memory was waking up this morning. So I can't tell you what happened yesterday, who I talked to, that I was even in this building. I just know that I was.
because he is every day.
Right, like and all day. That's how
wow.
that goes.
So tonight, like you mentioned, Greg, they're going to be playing their neighbor, or I guess not neighbors, but roommates in the White Sox.
White Sox.
Yep. Yamamoto. And yes, like you mentioned, we are seeing Yamamoto and Ohtani on the field at the same time. Just initial thoughts. I mean, I know that we've already got a chance to see them both individually. Before we wrap it up here, I mean, just how excited are you to see that?
Well, I mean, I told you last week when Yamamoto pitched, George Sedano came in and tried to ask me a question to help him with TVs around here. And I said, hold on, I'm watching Yamamoto. So I'm excited to watch him again, because I want to actually see. This is only the second time. Maybe they'll let him go a little bit deeper. So I'd like to see a little bit more from him. That's all that matters.
Yeah, same. I just want to see if he opens up a little bit more, if he shows us a little more than what we have seen from the last start. Also, not that we'll see it. I'm curious, how does the Japanese media split up duties? Do half of them go talk to Ohtani, half of them go talk to Yamamoto, and then they sort of pool resources, or do they, like, as one big cloud, go from one to the other on a day like this?
If you're the Dodgers, you just say, hey, we're putting you both together right here.
Right.
Just this giant, massive crowd.
Right.
That's all
just,
around everything.
Just let it go.
Poor Ippei will just be so stressed. Okay, Ippei wouldn't know what to do. But we'll see kind of the Dodgers at full strength outside of, Will Smith is going to have the night off. We'll see if Barnes even plays. I know his back was bothering him the other day. And then out in the outfield, we won't see like Teoscar. We'll see Pages or Pajes.
Pajes.
Yeah.
Pajes.
Although I do think
Pajes.
we should call him Andy Pages. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
It's just
That's the most
it
American
flows.
thing we could do. I mean,
Yeah.
Andy Pages.
Just anglicize it. It's fun.
Yeah,
Totally
just,
fine.
just Andy Pages. It's
Andy Pages.
So you'll be able to check out the Dodgers at 12 p.m. today, and more Blue review and reaction tomorrow and throughout the week at 9:30 to 9:55. Guys, this has been a pleasure as always doing this with you. Greg, send us off. Thank you to LAX and everything. I love this.
Thank you to LAX. Always appreciate you, and we'll be here every single day, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 9:55. Right before Travis and Salinas. So make sure you're here. Bring your friends. Tell everybody. Hit us up in the chat. We want to